There's about 30 years old. Look how long we are taught the same talk. Take these chains away and set me free. A lot of us believe slavery ended. That's a joke. They actually extended slavery to different colors of people now. They just don't know it. The system is slick. So we'll go back to the curbing of the nigger because that's the theme we're going with tonight. This is one of my favorite ones. They want many black people now to either don't apply for interviews if they have locks on their heads, or if they're at a job they are to cut them a certain length, or they are expected to remove them from their heads, to cut their locks off their heads. Wow. So, I mean, I can't tell you the number of times I used to drive the bus for the TTC. And it was either male or female, didn't matter. You know, one of these wonderfully bigoted ones who would say very jovially to me, the TTC wouldn't have hired you with your locks a decade ago, which is true. I was always sure to tell them to go and fertilize themselves. Because, why are you bringing it up? You bring it up because you're uncomfortable with it. You want to let me know that you don't approve of it. I don't care. That's your problem. You deal with it. And don't tell me about it. And the fact that some of you think you have the right to talk to me about the length of my hair or that I do have locks is beyond me. I never ask you about your eyelash or your earlobes or your fingernails. I'm not sure why you're asking me about my hair. This is one of my other favorites, when they tell us to straighten our hair. In Alabama, people with locks are ordered to cut them off. Black teachers have actually had issue with black children with afro or locks in the southern states. They always get other black people to help them with their foolishness. And again, I will ask you, why is my hair any of your business? Now, this one is kind of iffy, but I gotta deal with it. When they tell you to pull up your pants. I am 57 years old, so my pants have never been down past my waist. See? As I used to wear it under my armpit like all little children. And I really don't like that whole pants down by the bottom business. But no one has the right to tell me or you how to wear my pants. In Washington, they are fining black youths up to $100 and then catch them with them pants down. Now, yeah, we know it's a jail thing where I have some homophobia business with it. See? So I'm not really perpetrating that vibe. But if I'm not wearing pants or I'm not wearing pants, it's still none of your business. You never see them going up to any of these white boys with their mohawks and finding them for those mohawks. That I find far more offensive than anybody's pants down by their waist or down by wherever it is they want to wear it. You know who should I get fined? The guy in the 70s, or girl, whoever it is, who came up with them hipster bell-bottom pants. Them was the ugliest clothes I ever seen in my life. They should have fined her or him. Here's another nigger curbing thing. Ebonics. They try to find a term to describe black people every couple of decades. Not only do they make up a term for how we speak, they have the terms like, you know, nigger, negro, black, darky, Afro-Caribbean, Afro-American, African-Canadian, POC, and colored. He's a colored person, really. I just found out this year what POC meant when some woman labeled me with it. I'm a POC, a person of color. Man, take your POC and put it there. Anyway. It's like they need to categorize and label us all the time because they are uncomfortable with the terminology that they keep using. You understand? I understand. Sounds familiar to you, Bible thumper types. Well, I got a real secret for you. We are all connected in a spiritual plane, every one of us. Black, white, Chinese, brown, green, purple, dog, cat, cow, jungle. Everybody's connected. Plants, trees, rivers and streams, fish. Every time you punish one, you're punishing inside yourself. We are all him. This foolishness of segregation and white supremacy, we all continue to bind it. We all punish ourselves in a Babylonian system because we choose to do it. More curbing. Again, drink at certain water fountains, use certain washrooms, you know that stuff. Can only eat in certain restaurants, sit in a specific place on the bus. The use of the curbing is a constant. Well, there's also certain jobs you can't apply for, right? Once your skin dark, that's out of the question. So, one brethren from back in the day, a man named Big Youth, he had a song that didn't make it on the chart so big, but it made it on the charts big to me and to some black Americans. And I'm going to play that tune for you right about now. Z Mystic, you ready for them again?
Yeah, man.
Give me the one called Big Youth. And the track is called Every Nigga is a Star. And I dedicate it to all of you.
Yeah. Sure anymore. What you have that I do. Sunny and blue. I can feel it inside. I'm coming before for this thing. Yeah, I did it. Let's do it right here.
Every guy is a star. Yeah. Every nigga is a star. Yeah, that is the one called Big Youth. That man was easily one of the most popular artists in Jamaica back in the day. When he said Hit the Road Jack and S90 Skank and a bunch of tunes in the dance hall. But as soon as he started to talk about important things like because the man degrade us, but as a Jamaican, as a Rasta man, he will not be degraded. So if you don't want to call a nigga, I say about it, every nigga is a star. I want to show you say Big Youth career in Jamaica changed because of songs like this. So the man that pioneer human rights, black man rights, Rasta man rights long before them people. And still they might be, but we have to pay homage to the great ones. I will play our next track, This one is a historical one. Give him the music, my brother.
Man, oh man, after the chances I would say,
Wow.
you hit the man for 3 million right filters, cool breezes, that baby cold.
Yeah, for Scotty rhythm, Scotcha. Yeah.
Stop that train, I want
It's Paragon. It's a John Hall Paragon.
my baby,
Right?
she's leaving me now.
You know the order of the day. Who breezes, I would say. Yeah. Freedom fighters, that, the one called Big Youth. Yeah, Earl, I think the tune, a Paragon start that one, that tune there. the John Holt voice in the background there, unmistakable.
Yes.
We're continuing with the vibe tonight called Curbing the Nigger. Because since I've been in this country, it is things that I notice These are the things that I have had to live with. So nobody can come tell me I'm making this shit up. Don't come tell me it's my perception. I can perceive pretty good. You know, I can see right in front of me. I don't have to perceive anything. The things I'm saying to you did occur and continue to occur. Here's one of the ones that they don't think about it, but I couldn't miss it. There's a guy who used to be the head of the IOC. His name was Jacques Roger. This wrinkly old white man didn't like how Usain Bolt used to celebrate. The head of the IOC had this problem for whatever reason. The greatest sprinter the world has ever known is blazing his own path. Just watch greatness and shut up, old man. You know, these wrinkled old white supremacist, non-athletic noodle dudes wants to tell the greatest sprinter that ever lived that he can't salute, he can't do. You know what's interesting about the lightning bolt sign that Bolt does? If you watch Greek mythology, there's a person called Apollo. That is what Apollo does. Apollo is the Greek, the Greek god of the Olympics, as a matter of fact. Bolt does the same thing Apollo does, but Jacques Roger somehow doesn't like it. Man, just sit down. Stop talking to us about how we celebrate and how we do. This old wrinkled man can't do shit, but thinks he can talk about it's the greatest sprinter that ever lived. Well, forget you. I'm going to play more music. This one is from the one called Benjamin. This is my brethren. Benji's gonna do some drops for the station, Earl. So you have to help me with some lyrics. Okay, I'm gonna do some drops for the show. Leave it to time. It will be fine. It's a while since I've been trying to get with you. But you keep on saying time will make you realize someone's in love with you. Maybe it's true. Time alone can do it. Yeah, man. That's my Adrian Benjamin's. I'm gonna do some drops away. So you hear some. I have my one dub plate. This will be my first dub. Yeah. So we're continuing with the curbing of the nigger. We're not backing off it. Because there's some people listening to this show that are definitely part of the race of people that I'm talking about. And like I said, this is not for every white person I know. I'm talking about the people who run this shit. Not you people listening or being offended or anything like that. It has nothing to do with you. You don't impact me in any way. The people who run this country, they impact me. Like, black people don't even bother trying to apply for Canadian government positions. Justin Trudeau has zero interest in niggas. Like all of the people in white Canada. We aren't even an afterthought in their books. He's so proud of his cabinet that includes no black people. Sin. And you say these things and then people take offense to it, but it's right in front of your face exactly what is not being done for us. But I'm not asking anybody to understand. Let me say it over and over. I'm not asking you to bend over for me and do anything for me. All my conversation is really with the people who think like I do. And in me saying it, it is my suggestion that we actually find ways to work together to elevate self, you know. If my business can help your business in any way, let's do a barter thing. let's pay each other to do certain things for ourselves. Pay like real money and stop asking me for handouts. Somebody asked me today, actually, if I could give them one of the pins for domestic violence. And I'm like, no, I'll never give one away. I'll think about Nanny Mystic's sons and the children of my friend that has been brutalized for the past 4 years, and all the people who have been brutalized. I will never give a pin away. You can't buy one. If you can't buy them, don't talk to me. This is not about money to put in a bank account. This is money to help us and to help our cause and to create an awareness that is different than the foolishness that we've been focused on the victim. No, King. Focus on the predator. If you go in the Serengeti, you're not looking for the zebra and the buffalo to run you over. You better look in the bushes. If you see any movement that looks like the grass, that's about 8 lions that's coming at you. Look to the problem that's at hand. It's the predator that we need to focus on. Let's focus on the man them doing the aggressive things to our people. Now, you've been hearing the music I've been playing all night. Some of it is right out of Canada, and some of it is, big youth and thing. But when I play these tunes, I'm just showing you that these are the kinds of songs that might have gotten submitted to play on mainstream Canadian radio and never made it. This one is from a band called the Dream Band. Now, what's important about this track for me, I believe the person on the drums is none other than the late, great Rafa Dean. And I got more convinced as the track went along with the drum rolls that I was hearing. I'm gonna play about 3 tracks in a row of Canadian artists. I'll introduce them as we go. Bust the Dream Band for me, please. Let me see that damn thing on my radio. Why?
My love, I wanna let you know.
Yeah, man. That one is called Never Let You Go by the Dream Band. Now, somebody can tell me that I cannot play on Canadian radio, must be crazy. That's true that if Adele covered that track, it would be on the Billboard charts, #1. But because it is done in Toronto, Canada, where we are deliberately suppressed by the system that we live in, we accept the fact that these musics can never make it. Well, I don't accept shit. I'm gonna play you music, good music. And then this next track, this wasn't the Juno winner, but to me, this is that. If I had only one track in my life, if I was a one-hit wonder person, this is one of the tracks I would definitely want to be my signature. This is a youth named Correction out of Toronto, Trenchtown, Jamaica.
Children smile, it's all blessed to see the rain of fall.
It's all blessed
to see the nation rise. It's all blessed.
Yeah. See the sunrise. It's all blessed. That track by Correction is easily one of the most grateful sounding music and opinions in a song. It's all blessed to see your brethrens alive. It's all blessed. Emperor Selassie, I name, we have to call it. Yeah, these are songs that they don't play on Canadian radio, but I'm going to play them for you here. The next track I'm giving you, again, is from Melika Ibadan Journey. I have to play these things because I travel the journey. I feel like I was an artist in the band, so or a musician, even though I can't play an instrument or sing. I picked up enough keyboards and drum kits and loaded and unloaded many box of vans and cars, so I soldiered the journey. This next track, the reason why I love it is because the songwriter Peter Berner Holong, the bassist from Ibadan, wrote this track, and I had heard it and I wanted to use it for a project I was doing for children, so I called him and asked him if I could, and he said, yeah man, it's perfect. He says he actually wrote this about his children, so the love you're hearing from this track is about his children and your children and mine, so I dedicate this to all of you and your children. Always. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. In times like this, it's
We have
really,
two tracks after this.
something that's so special.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I will always be there for you, my children. In the autumn and the winter and the springtime. It's a beautiful song. Another beautiful track that you will never hear on mainstream radio. Because they tell you these tracks don't sound the way they do not sound the way as yours do. And because you have a specific format that you want them in, that's not how we play it. So I get it, you won't put it on your stations, but I'm gonna play these tracks week after week so the people them can hear the talent that is here in Toronto, and at some point connect the people with the artists, with the venue, with the food companies and the beer companies, so everybody can make money. These are the talented people that we're being blocked seeing by a very white supremacist government and way of running things in this country. Here's my other wonderful one for you, for all the people who tell me about racism is my issue or up in my head or something. We're getting back to the carding of black youth. Carding isn't just here in Toronto. Them have it in the UK, them have it all over the world. Now the best part of this racist agenda, disrespectful, racist, white privilege expects us black people to accept it. And then they get what we call our Uncle Tom. But not for we Uncle Tom, but we don't know it. But we call, they get a leader in a position with black skin to help us to understand better. So he's supposed to explain that carding is better for us. So they get a black man to tell it to us. Hence we have this current police chief. Because it's really important to them to keep their thumb on young black men. Because for some reason, we seem to be this major threat. This so-called leader, police chief, is the same Judas when I read about in the Bible. So all of the above examples and scenarios are pretty apparent and clear, and pretty much a concise breakdown of nigger curbing by white supremacy, which isn't news to any of us. This is nothing I've said today you don't know, or those that know can't deny it, per se. There are many out there who have a perception that I'm just belly aching, but I don't care. Your need for me and us black people to accept white supremacy isn't ever happening. Yeah, changes will get made as more of us wake up and start to network amongst ourselves and create business opportunities for the variety of businesses. Stop shopping at Loblaws and Walmart, but go to the mom and pop stores and black businesses. Maybe go to your way, you might spend a little more money, you might have to pay extra parking. But if we build, it's an unstoppable force. This isn't news to us either. when they hear me speak this way, they will be quick to point out the words that I use, like white people or niggas, and they'll try and label me as a racist, or that I am. This is just awesome. Or I'm practicing reverse racism. I never understood what reverse racism is. Oh, you can't reverse racism. That means you're admitting to the fact that you are racist. Because if I'm reversing it, it means that you had it first and I'm just reversing it in your direction, right? So you're admitting you're racist. Okay. All of these things are gonna label me as a racist or reverse racist. These are just distractions. They want me to argue with them and prove to them that I'm not racist, but I won't do that. All I speak is a truth that I live. You can't deny what I've lived. And then when 20 or 30 or 40 or 2 million or 40 million or 300 million people have similar experiences, you can't tell me it's in all of our heads, you know. But my message isn't really to them when I speak to them, you know. These are messages I speak to myself. I say these things out loud, but I'm actually repeating them so I can tell myself that I gotta do better. If it's for those who know, they didn't say those who feel it, knows it. We need to stop arguing with them. Stop doing these peace marches and all kind of things, asking them to protect us from police brutality when the police are paid by them to brutalize us. That's pretty oxymoronish. They pay these people to do this job and you're asking them to stop doing it and they're still hiring more police. It means they're not listening to you. You need to do things amongst our community to defend ourselves. And I ain't talking about guns either. I ain't talking about no aggression. Just business. Start working with each other. I'm encouraging us to step up and run business, protection, creativity, arts, music, many spiritual things that we are about. It is our spirit and souls to live. And as a man mentioned to me several times tonight, it is called liberty. Liberty isn't something that it just drops in your life. You have to aspire to it, like nobility. We need to focus on the aggressive man them and have their children ask their fathers, is what you're doing to my mom a noble thing, Dad? Okay, your children want to be proud of you, you know. We have about a half hour to go in the show. I'm gonna wrap up my talking. Probably thankfully to some of you. And before I do that, I want to thank the Father in heaven. I want to talk to him, thanking him for the opportunity to speak openly in this country of Canada. As much as I believe white supremacy is strong in this place, it also has and allows me to speak what I'm saying to you openly. And I truly give thanks for that opportunity, because there are places in this world, and there were times in the US and other places of South Africa and many places in all of Africa, where if someone spoke like this, a black man spoke like this, he'd be hanging from a tree. That's the ultimate nigger curbing. So I want to leave you with a track. Well, I want to start you off with this track. And this is one of the most spiritual drumming tracks that has ever been made. It is a version of the track by the one called Big Youth. It's called Santa Masagana.